Hello, this is Elijah Ignatieff of the School of Conscious Communication, and I'm here with Ann Bandura, one of the faculty teachers. And we are going to have a little bit of a chat about a value system that we did just a little while ago, right? I think within the last 2 weeks, I think. And it was a big thing to do. And here is the value system, and here we are. So, Ann, what has happened since then? Have you noticed any changes in your life?
It's such a broad spectrum question because life changes every day. So. But I know we're talking specifically to the values map that we created, which I think was, February 28th. That's when we had done it. So we're up to a month, 4 weeks on
March 14th.
2 weeks. Okay, yeah. Time just feels like it's flying by. So there's been some situations, for example, last week when we were doing our call, we were talking about relationships and customer service and the things that were important to me, and you had just sort of realized that, oh, it sounds like relaxation is there for you in terms of your relationships with your customer service. I also have a client that has diversity at conversations or communication. And so there's so much that's been going on. It's heightened because there's a company and myself who both have diversity, and I'm coaching them through their conversation and communications right now.
Oh, wow.
So it's that part, that aspect of things has really been highlighted over the last 2 weeks. And so I guess it was just previous to doing this values wheel, previous to that we did this values wheel. So I'm kind of coming in through that 6th domain and going straight into the middle. And those are the 2 places that have been extremely highlighted. And then just sort of, I would say, like, personally, even though it's around infrastructure, the words on here, this is the flow wheel, and I actually chose them for the synergy wheel. I have a synergy map.
Okay.
For these values. So I have beauty at infrastructure for me, and diversity at communication, and then relaxation at synergy.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different than what you're seeing on.
Right. I pulled up the wrong thing. I did the wrong thing.
Yeah, but that's okay. But just so that everybody knows, it's just
right.
The words that I here aren't connected to the flow wheel. It's the inner group wheel. And so on the two domain there where it says resources, it is infrastructure. And one of the really great things about the word beauty is that by definition in the inflow matrix is that we're feeling this intense gratification and just this intense emotion, joy. And in terms of infrastructure, I made the decision around not moving into a shared accommodation situation and maintaining the home office, which I'd love to be in, and focus my resources on setting up my writing's den, which I moved into my backyard. And so this last week in particular, it's been all about unifying, getting things in order, clearing things out, places that are unneeded, understanding what it is that I want to be doing, and keeping those essential tools in my space. So those are the things that I can sort of touch on that are really active in the last couple of weeks. And then of course there's other little things, like in terms of learning what quantity at stewardship means. So having everybody having a certain number, and having the number of stewards being highlighted over having a different value, like perhaps complacency, you know, or chaos, or you know, even something like braveness, which I have in my 4 domain, that operation. So that's sort of been highlighted. And so for me, it's really about beginning to become more aware of what I placed as what I divined in terms of the value. I chose divinely and then put them there, and the way that sort of guides my life. And so I see it showing up in my activities in terms of what I'm doing in my space, and that I'm setting it up, and that it does actually resemble the value of beauty. In terms of my clients and customers and building that relationship, I have this just complete sense of relaxation, which means that I have no stress and people are coming to me. I have a presentation now that like my first presentation that I've gotten hired for 2017 is coming up, because I took 2016 off, so I'm just kind of getting back in the saddle. So, you know, it's just sort of been since then. And I suppose people could say, Elijah, that, you know, when you have these values, you're going to be looking for them to show up in your life. And though that may also have that may be true in some aspects, it's really, for me, it's really about choosing a value, or divinely choosing a value, being guided to one, and learning what that value means when applied to the specific reference point that it's put onto the map with. And then I better grasp whether or not that value aligns with myself and where I'd like to place it later. So I can go around my day and interchange any value that I want. But the action of doing the map and then having the value and then coming to a heightened awareness of how that plays out in your life is a pretty remarkable experience. So anyways, I wanted to say thanks for helping me with that map and doing that. And I'm excited to be here with you. And I hope that was beneficial for people and that they get the same experience or something even better when they do theirs.
Well, thank you, Lori-Ann. This is just a little tidbit of what happens when value systems are put into your life, and a little bit about the coaching that can happen between people as they start to dialogue and inquire into what each is going through. And this can happen in a non-hierarchy way. It can just be between peers. It can just be between people finding out about themselves. And so this is something that can spread quite easily as we all help each other to define and realize our own value systems.
I think that's the most exciting part, Elijah, really, when you have this on a map and then you acknowledge that that's what's going on, and it's come about in your daily life. It's manifested in your experience. And, you know, besides the holy beep moment, just to have somebody to share that with and have them share their excitement back. It's almost like one of those things where you can't beat it, because you're speaking the same language, but you each get something, and it's just how magic appears in your life.
Well, if anyone is watching this video and they're interested in getting a value system done, Lori-Ann is one of the most qualified people right now to do value systems with organizations and individuals. It takes about an hour or two, depending. And then there's quite a lot of follow-up depending upon how deep you want to go. But I would strongly suggest to anyone out there who knows Lori-Ann to go through this process with her. And I don't think you will be disappointed at all.